Interesting. Thank God I remember. Okay, so how to effectively communicate with God's system of manifestation. Do you know that many people think when they want to communicate with God, they think the only way to communicate with God is close your eyes, kneel down, and begin to speak. Ladies and gentlemen, if that's the only way you know, as far as communication with God is concerned, maybe that's the reason why you are not getting what you want. Maybe just that's the reason why you are not able to manifest your desired reality. Because you are limiting God. And you cannot boss God, by the way. You can't boss him. You can't box him. You are limiting God. Do you often feel that the God is ignoring your message? You often feel that God is ignoring your message. Just like asking your mom or dad for something and she deliberately ignore you because what you are asking for is silly. You just ignore what you are saying. This is how it can feel sometimes when you desire something and pray for it, but you are not getting that desired reality. It's like God is ignoring your message. It's like your message is not being, it's like God is not picking your call. By the way, you need to know that God is not running a schedule to answer your prayer when you pray. He said, before you speak, he has answered. He has already given all things that pertain to life and godliness. All things have been given. All things have been given. Your job is to receive it. Your job is to receive it. He told Joshua, I have given Jericho to you. I have given it. Their job is to do the work to receive it. He has given already. He said, goodness and mercy shall follow you. You're not supposed to be pursuing goodness and mercy up and down. Why? He said, your job is to position yourself to receive it. The real job is positioning. Goodness and mercy is looking for you. You are looking for it. And it can't find you, and you can't find it. You feel like the God system is ignoring you because you have set a system in place to answer prayers. You feel like it is ignoring you. The truth is that you are ignoring yourself because you are the only universe that exists for you. Because God is within you. Because it's Christ in you, the hope of glory. Note that the most important lie sold to humanity is externalization of God. I'll repeat that. One of the big lies sold to us as humanity is externalization of God. Stop looking for God on the outside because God is in you. Christ in you, the hope of glory. There is a spirit in man. The inspiration of God giveth them understanding. The inspiration of God giveth them understanding. When you externalize God, you externalize the source of your power outside of you. So you're looking for answer on the outside, where the answer is on the inside. You are a microcosm of the universe. You, as a human being, you are a microcosm of the universe, a miniature version of God's universe. As above, so below. This is a consistent principle of creation, and this shows that the universe is the best mathematician because it's always balanced the equation of life. Please note that. It always balanced the equation of life. If on the inside you are full of pain, regret, sadness, it will create a balance of that on the outside. You are going to begin to see that same thing around you. Because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If you look at the way atom, the building block that you and the universe is made of, if you look at the way it's arranged, it has the nucleus in the center and the electron around it. That is exactly the way the sun and the planets surround the sun. Sun in the center, the nucleus, and the planets around it. But right in your body is an atom that replicates exactly that. Same is the structure of DNA. The double helix nebula. The nebula is a vast cloud and gas in space. Also, same is the structure of human eye and the helix nebula in the sky. All this show the way the universe is represented inside you. Basically saying some of the things we see in creation on the outside is also replicated inside you. That's why some people say you are your own universe. Y-O-U. And astrophysicists said that the cosmos is within you. We are made of star stuff. We are made of star stuff. Remember the law of correspondence or balance, which says that as above, so below, as within, so without. So whatever you create within, if you create hell within, you experience hell without. If you create heaven within, you experience heaven without. So whatever is within you will be within your universe. So in your life, there is no universe. There is only universe. Y-O-U, universe. That is why they say reality is a reflection of who you are. Ladies and gentlemen, the reality of your life today is a reflection of who you are. The reality of your life today is a reflection of who you are. Show me your life, and I'll give you an idea of the kind of thought that you think in your heart. I'll give you an idea of your mental creation. Of your mental creation. Of your mental creation. Whatever is within you will be within your universe. So, in your life, there is no universe. There is only universe. Every message you send to God's system is ignored because you are sending it to the wrong place. On the outside of you, instead of sending it to the right place, on the inside of you. You should be sending it to the universe inside of you. To the God that resides inside of you, not to universe outside of you. The more you begin to look within instead of without, the more reality will make sense. The more your message will finally be heard. If you can ask yourself this question, whenever situations are not going the way you want, you will get answer immediately. The very important question you should ask yourself is, what is happening within me that's making this to happen on the outside? You get a response immediately because you will notice how you are feeling inside. The system of God is always communicating to you, but you are the one not hearing because of where you focus on to get answer. Unfortunately, many people think the God system, the inner dimension, the world within you, communicate with the language like us. They don't get answer to their requests and prayers because they are not speaking the right language of the mind. There are three languages I'll be talking to you about today. Three important languages. Three important languages. Three important languages that you must learn. And by the way, if you are praying for anything, but you are not conscious of this language, that's why there is no answer actually. Because you're not speaking the language. You're not speaking the language. The first language to communicate with the God system is your emotion. The second is attention. And the third is the noun. The noun. Emotion, attention, the noun. Emotion, attention, the noun. Emotion. Emotion. Someone said, emotion is the language of God. Because he said, as a man thinketh in his heart, we always miss out that in his heart. The heart is the seat of emotion. We miss out that in his heart. It's not the way the man thinks, so is it. No. The way a man thinks in his heart, so is it. Because emotion is communication. Ladies and gentlemen, emotion is communication. Your emotion is communicating. Either you know it or you don't know it. Your emotion is communicating. Either you know it or you don't know it. Certain culture across the world believe that God has a shouting language, but that's not true because God is beyond the confinement of our own language. Emotion is the language of God. Emotion actually transcends reality. Emotion is energy in motion. Emotion is energy in motion. Emotion is energy in motion. Remember, everything is energy. Energy is everything. Emotion emits energy into the God system, which acts as a beacon of light. As a beacon of light to attract the reality that you experience. To attract the reality that you experience. Please know that frequency is a reality assigner. It looks like ordering something on Amazon with a unique product code. The code helps delivery person to know the exact product you want and the warehouse to go and pick up for delivery. Everything you ever want already exists. Everything. Please don't let anybody deceive you. Everything you will ever need, you ever want in your life already exists. And it exists in the spiritual realm at a frequency. The role of prayer is to increase your vibration to the frequency of what you want to attract it to yourself. But it's important that you communicate with the right message. That means I can't be praying to God for a job and I'm worried about the fact that I don't have a job. I can't be praying to God for something and I'm afraid and worried I don't have it. Because you can only have what you already have. You can only have what you already have. The children of Israel was told by God, I have given you Jericho. And they believe it. So they believe it. They receive it. That's why they become a reality in their life. You can only have what you already have. If you don't have it, you will not have it. And emotion lets you to have it internally and have that feeling of having it. and have that feeling of having it. Being able to master your mood, your feeling, help you neutralize the rhythm and escape a greater part of the operation of cause and effect on the ordinary or physical plane of existence. Emotion is everything. Emotion alters the vibration of the thought that you have, so they are supercharged and increase the likelihood of your manifestation. The emotion is the most powerful. It's more powerful than your word. Listen to that. Listen to that. Your emotion is more powerful than your word, your thought. And that is why many prayers are not answered. In fact, Jesus said, but when ye pray, use not vain repetition as the heathen do, for they think they will be heard by their much speaking. For they think they will be heard by their much speaking. It's not the speaking that provides the answer. They think they will be heard by their much speaking. They think they will be heard by their much speaking. This is why the use of the word of affirmation will make no difference in your life if you have a low vibration emotion, because emotion is the language that God's system understands. I can't be speaking to life what I desire, but I'm feeling terrible. My feeling does not match with what I'm speaking. If I'm speaking that I have received it, I have received it, then I should be feeling like someone that have received it. I should have the feeling of someone that have received it. If I don't have the feeling of someone that have received it, all I'm saying will be a wasted effort. They think they will be heard by their much speaking, by their many words, by their much speaking, by their many words. They think they will be heard by their many words, by their much speaking, by their many words, by their much speaking. But they are heard through their emotion. Emotion is the language of God. The people speak with their mouth, but internally, they have an emotion of sadness, emotion of frustration, emotion of scarcity, emotion of lack, which show that they do not have what they speak about. Look, when the Bible says that you shall have whatsoever you say, believe whatsoever you desire when you pray. Believe that you have received and you shall have what you say. How do we know that you believe you have received? How you feel. Because when you have received, there's a way you feel when you have received. There's a way you feel when you have received. If you are believing God for financial blessing and you feel well, rich, wealthy, you will not be angry when a bus conductor went away with your change and he don't give you. You won't be angry. You won't curse him. When you get to the supermarket and see something is expensive at the price, you say, it's too high, it's too expensive. No. If you say that, then you don't believe. He said, whatsoever you say, whatever desire, when you pray, believe you have received and you shall have it. How do you believe you have received it? How you feel. So if you feel the feeling, your brain already know that you have it. As far as your brain is concerned, you have it. So you cannot see something again that contradicts it. Your emotion, listen to this, your emotion evidence that you have received it. Your emotion evidence that you have received it. Your emotion is an evidence that you have received it. How you feel about what you are saying is an evidence you have received it. If you feel great, you have received it. If you feel terrible, for example, someone is praying to God, maybe he's believing God for his rent, and is praying to God for rent, and they're about to chase him out of the house, and he's crying and sad and say, God, why no, why me? Why is this happening to me? You see that prayer? That's complaint. No, that's not prayer. That's complaint. If you sad, if you dejected, if you terrible, unfortunately, you see that feeling, that cry, it's not going to make any difference. You know, I don't know if I'm making sense to you, drop a message in the chat. If I'm making sense to you, drop a message in the chat. Let me be sure you understand what I'm talking about. If I'm making sense to you, drop a message in the chat. Drop an emoji in the chat. I want to be sure you are getting me. You are getting me. Yes, okay, I can see Grace. I can see Grant. Grant, this your emoji, what does it mean? It's like he's putting hand in the mouth and thinking. You know? You see that feeling of sadness? Okay, you're processing it, okay. That feeling of sadness. You're praying, you're saying, God, why me? God, when? You are feeling unhappy, sad. You are complaining, no, you're not praying. You're not praying. You're not praying. Emotion is the language of God. Emotion helps you to communicate effectively. He said, whatever you, anytime he's talking about believing that you have received faith, what he's saying is you need to feel the feeling that you have received it. Believe you have received and you shall have it. Believe you have received. How do you believe you have received? Through your emotion. You receive it with your emotion, emotionally charged thought. You receive it. You receive it. The people speak with their mouth, but internally, they have an emotion of sadness, frustration, which show that they do not have what they are speaking about, and you can only have what you already have. So, because of their emotional state, crying, frustration, sadness, this contradicts what they are asking with their mouth. Do you get that? Do you get that? You're asking for A, but emotionally you are communicating B. You're confusing the God system. He can't hear you. He can't understand you. You're not clear. You're not precise. You're not clear. You're not precise. If you are praying and you don't feel the feeling of receiving it, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You must feel the feeling that you have received it. You must feel the feeling that you have received it, and you shall have it. You must feel the feeling that you have received it, and you shall have it. So year after year, people go to church to pray. They go to mountain, to valley, to ocean. They pray for prosperity. They pray for different things, but nothing is changing in their lives because their internal state and emotion contradict their words. Their internal state and emotion contradict their words. They don't believe what they are saying. Since emotion is more powerful than your word, all that they are saying is overridden, overpowered by the emotion of sadness inside. It's not really about what you say. It's about your emotion, because emotion own the largest share of your frequency of vibration. Emotion breeds emotion. Whatever you feel, reality will strive to maintain it and multiply that feeling and bring circumstances that maintain that feeling to you. Number 2, attention. Number one, language, emotion. As you are speaking, you are feeling. As you are speaking, you are feeling it. As you are speaking, you are feeling it. As you are speaking, you are feeling it. As you are speaking and feeling, where are you placing your attention? Are you placing your attention on the rent you want to pay and you are now afraid? You are placing your attention on what your landlord will say or what your boss will say or when you go for office meeting and you have to give report of your performance. Are you placing your attention on what they will say? Attention is number two. Please note, attention is alignment. So number one way you communicate effectively to God is through your emotion. Number two way you communicate effectively to God is through your attention, your focus, your concentration. In the realm of God's system, attention takes precedence over your thought and your word. Attention takes precedence over your thought and your words. It does not matter how you think positively. If your attention speaks otherwise or go in opposite direction, that is what God's system will bring to you. Hello? It doesn't matter what you are saying, confessing, but your attention is on, I don't have my rent. I don't have a job. I don't have this. I don't have that. If that's what your attention is on, what you are preoccupied with, guess what? Guess what? That is exactly what you're going to attract to yourself. Because when you focus your attention on something, you vibrate at the frequency of that thing. And when you vibrate at the frequency of that thing, that attracts similar situation to you. So if I focus my attention on wealth, or focus my attention on myself having the job in a particular office, I focus my attention of having the job already and in the office, working as an executive in an office, focus my attention on marriage, seeing myself on the altar, seeing myself making my marriage vow, seeing myself and my wife or husband going on a vacation or going for honeymoon. If my attention is on that, I vibrate at that frequency and I attract it to myself. Where are you placing your attention? Attention is currency, and you should learn to invest it. Attention is currency, and you should learn to invest it. Attention is currency, and you should learn to invest it. Attention is currency, and you should learn to invest it. Some people are spending their attention. They are not investing their attention. It is unwise not to invest your attention or spend your attention. How do you spend your attention? On social media, spending your attention. On watching TV, spending your attention. Doing something that is not adding any value to you, spending your attention. How do you invest your attention? By focusing your attention on what you want, on what you are expecting, on what you are believing God for. You lost money, you are focusing your attention on the feeling of loss. As long as you are having a feeling of loss, you will never manifest wealth. Because every time you remember, you are feeling sad, you are very unhappy, you are very pained. No matter how you think positively, if your attention stays otherwise, the attention will override the positive thought. Wherever your attention is placed, become the reality that you currently align to. Because attention is alignment. Please always remember this statement. Wherever attention goes, energy flow. Wherever attention goes is where your energy for creation will eventually go. Attention is like centralizing your energy. It's like shooting energy to a spot. It's like depositing into a bank from which you can withdraw. It's like sowing a seed that you will reap afterward. What? It's like sowing a seed that you will reap afterward. What you can withdraw or harvest from the deposit of your attention, from what you planted through your attention, is determined by the focus of your attention. Is determined by the focus of your attention. This is seen in the experiment of convex lens. Convex lens. It converges light rays. It converges light rays at the principal focus of the lens. And this makes the object at that focus to burn. I did that experiment in secondary school. Took a convex lens from the lab, went outside under the sun, adjust the lens until I can see the principal focus like a dot, a light dot on the paper under the lens, and left it for a while. Suddenly, the paper started burning. That's how powerful your attention is. That's how powerful your concentration is. That's how powerful your attention is. That's how powerful your concentration is. That's how powerful your attention is. That's how powerful your concentration is. You need to understand the fact that anything that can't get your attention does not exist. Anything that cannot get your attention does not exist. Anything that cannot get your attention does not exist in your world. That means sadness, if you cannot get your attention, sadness does not exist in your life. Scarcity, if you cannot get your attention, scarcity does not exist in your life. The God system is a careful observer. It never gets a day off from observing you and everyone to see what their attention is located on, is focused on. The question is, what is the placement of your attention reflexive of? What does it show about your focus? What does it infer? What does it represent? What does it tell us about your focus? Please know that attention, focus, and concentration is alignment because it alters your vibration to be at the level of what you are focusing your attention on. If you focus your attention on fear, you will vibrate at the frequency of fear, and that which you fear will come upon you. If you focus your attention on the frequency of scarcity, you vibrate at the frequency of scarcity, and that lack you are focusing on will be attracted to you. If you focus your attention on the fact that there's no love in Lagos, I don't know where people get that statement, there's no love in Lagos. I don't get it. There's no love in Lagos. You will vibrate at that frequency and you attract stupid men, stupid women to yourself. The rate of your vibration can only be altered when you alter your concentration. When you alter your concentration. Let me show you how this works. Let me show you how this works. If you begin to think on something negative, what happens? You begin to feel bad, feel sad, because you are focusing your attention on something negative. You begin to feel bad and feel sad because you are focusing on something negative. You feel bad and feel sad. You see that feeling? The reason you are feeling that way is because your attention, the attention you gave that thing, increased the vibration. And guess what? That compounds to a frequency of sadness, of unhappiness. And guess what? You attract it to yourself. You attract it to yourself. You attract it to yourself. What are you placing your attention on? The rate of your vibration can only be altered when you alter your concentration. So when you alter your concentration, it alters your vibration, which combines to a frequency, and this material This materializes in the physical plane as your reality. This materializes in the physical plane as your reality. This materializes in the physical plane as your reality. Remember, attention is alignment. Number 3, language number 1 that you use to speak to God is emotion. Language number 2 is attention. Language number 3 is now, the now. If you want God's system to hear you, then you need to play by the rule. And his rule is that there is no past, there is no future. The only moment that exists is moment now. The only thing that exists is now. That is why it's a mistake to say, I will become something in future. No. You are believing God for something, moment now. You have received it now. 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 To be saying one day is going to happen means you don't have it right now. I'll become something means I don't currently have that thing. And that means you have not become that thing. Please note that if you are not in it by now, you will never be in it or become it in reality, because the only thing that exists is moment now. So you need to enter an emotional state that shows that the desire of your currently exists. The desire of yours currently exists in your life right now in order to attract it. Once you focus on seizing it in the now, then you will seize it in reality very soon. How does God's system respond to your request? This is how God's system replies to your request. Most time, many do not know. The response to your request is with what is wrongly called coincidence. When you communicate to God, you will see what you call coincidence, but there's no such thing as coincidence. There are only synchronicity, 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 synchronicity. See coincidence as a connection between the spiritual and the material realm. A good example of synchronicity is what happened to Joseph. Joseph is a prepared man to interpret dreams. Then God created a circumstance in the life of Pharaoh that made the gift of Joseph become useful, because the gift of a man maketh room for him and bring him before kings. So Joseph had the skill, had the gift, situation exists, and someone is in the palace that could mention his name. God arranged it. God is an orchestrator of circumstances. It's called God synchronized that situation. He synchronized it. It's not a coincidence. Someone synchronizes, someone arranges, someone put it together. Once you focus on seizing it in the now, then you seize it in reality very soon. How does God's system respond to your request? This is how God's system responds to your request. It responds through synchronicity, meaningful coincidences. Synchronicity. See this coincidence as a connection between spiritual and material realms. And they are reminded that you are always reflecting God's system. And they remind you, rather, you are reflecting God's system. This is like God's system telling you to pay attention to what is happening in your environment. This is like thinking of someone and they call you. That's synchronicity. You are looking for money and someone just refunded the loan they owe you without you expecting it. Once you shift in your mind to your desired reality, you know what happened? A series of events that lead up to your desired manifestation will begin to happen. If you are very observant, should be asking, why is this thing happening now? Why are they doing it now? Why are they? This is the time to pay attention and listen to your intuition. And what is telling you? Something will just tell you, do this, go there, write this, submit this, answer this, visit this person, call this person, write this letter. That is the time to listen to your intuition. To listen to your intuition. To listen to what God is saying you should do. Like he told Joshua, what they should do to cover Jericho. This is the time to pay attention and listen to what your intuition is telling you. So go and send your message to God's system and pay attention to what God is sending your way. Number one, you want to communicate effectively to God in prayer. As you are praying, feel the feeling. Feel the feeling. What you are saying is nothing. It's not as important as how you feel. Feel the feeling of someone that already have it. Two, as you are praying, focus your attention. Even when you finish the prayer, focus your attention on what you want. Always imagine yourself in that office with the job. Imagine yourself dressing up for the office. Imagine yourself in your car driving to the office. Imagine yourself receiving accolade in the office. Imagine yourself meeting that target. Imagine yourself receiving accolade in the office because you met your target. Imagine yourself being given a handshake or given to stand up and use as a positive example of what it means to be a performance in the office. Imagine yourself and focus your attention on that all the time. That should be your preoccupation. Focus your attention on it. And guess what? Always remember, I will not become what I want in future. No, I am it now. He said, I am that I am. Now. Moment now. No such thing as the future now. And then begin to look out for meaningful coincidences, which is better described as synchronicity. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we stop tonight. Let me hear from you. What have you learned tonight? What have you picked up? Have you picked up how to pray, how to communicate to God's system of the universe? Have you picked up the right way to communicate? Remember, they think they will be heard by their mouth speaking, but many are not heard by their mouth speaking. They think they will be heard by their mouth speaking, but many have not received answer to their prayer, and many are frustrated. Very frustrated. Because they think they will be heard by their mouth speaking. They think they will be heard by their mouth speaking. They think they will be heard by their mouth speaking. All right. Let me hear from you. What have you learned tonight? Bami. Is it Bami? Bame. Bame. Is it Bame? What's your name? You're number one on my list. What have you learned tonight? Bame. Bame is not responding. Grace, good evening. Hello, Grace. Are you there? Can you guys hear me? Because Grace is Grant. Hello, Grant. Grant, are you there?
I can hear you, sir. Good evening.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. So,
have you finished processing?
Yes, I've done. No, I was the idea of not crying over anything that I don't want. Like there was a time you mentioned it. Then I was watching a movie this last week, and then in the movie was a woman who had not gotten the fruit of the womb. She had not given birth to children, and then she would cry. And as I saw her crying, everything it even came as if it was my own thought. I said that I've already ingested it when you said it. that you don't cry over what you don't want. When you cry over it, you perpetuate the
Perpetrate.
situation.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
something that many people don't even know. Self-pity is the worst thing you can do to yourself in this life. Worst.
Mm. 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 So that again stood out for me. Then you said about externalizing God
Yes.
and realizing God is within. So I don't know, maybe I should just start with the question on that.
Right.
Is God also not outside? Like,
That
is God also not
God
outside?
is everywhere, but it's within
Okay.
you. If you want to communicate with him within you. Don't look outside. But it's everywhere.
So what does that change in church practices if we adopt the idea that God is within?
That means I don't look for help on the outside from a man, from an object, from a thing. I look for God and solution on the inside.
Mm. Like, okay. Yeah, so one of the parts that really got to me is the one for emotions.
Yeah.
Now that emotions are superior to words,
Yes.
emotions emotions speak louder than words.
Yes. So
As far Yeah, for in the human, here in the physical realm, we say actions speak louder than words.
yeah,
But as it comes to God's system of communication and manifestation, emotions are louder.
louder, very clear.
What? Yeah, so the things now I'm figuring out that to live in these things, I have to be conscious because when you're mentioning something today, the part of attention, and I remember that I've lost a little consciousness of this attention, but in terms of the thoughts, maybe it has already synchronized to my life in the way I live already, but it was not in my active consciousness again. Like things like pray for your enemies. Like some people still did some things that this week or this past week that I'm like, and as I was trying
Why
to
they do?
they went to pour dirt in a place I was supposed to pour dirt, and I had to park. I was not parking the dirt.
Okay.
I was like, I was trying to be upset. But as I was trying to be upset, my mind was refusing to be upset. And
Yeah.
then I will get upset more. I will not hear pray for your enemies or pray for those. So the new frequency, I mean, I think I'm already getting into this as my default state because it
yes.
was it was
And that's the goal.
intercept it was intercepting me from getting offended. So I began to interpret the situation. Like sometimes I would want to do something, small to do something. I'll be like, no, I want to beat you, or I want to deal with you.
You get to a
As if I
point, you get to a point, it becomes difficult for you to do some things. You can't do it. You can't do it.
yes,
You can't do it because what it takes to do it is no longer inside you.
leave it.
So when you squeeze something, it's what is inside that come out. If there's no anger
Yeah.
inside, anger will not come out. If there's no hatred inside, hatred will not come out. If there's no animosity inside, animosity will not come out. Don't excuse whatever anybody do to you. What you did in reacting to that thing is a signal of what is inside you. Accept your ignorance as your weakness and deal with it.
Mm. Yeah, really, it's interpretation. And I used to stretch that thing you say that interpret what a situation is what you make of it. So
Okay, so
I will come at a situation, and because there are already default interpretations I have for certain situations, like
yes.
so when I come on that situation and I already make my previous default action, and I will now remember, like sometimes it's as if you spoke from behind me saying his interpretation. I used to almost hear your voice in my head.
Yes. I have some
So
students like that that tell me they've heard my voice because they've listened to me several times.
so when that thing happens and I'm already in my default mode of maybe being upset about it, almost complaining. I don't like the idea of complaining, almost like being upset about it. I would now remember when you say his interpretation. So I now used to try. and deliberately now say, if it's true there is interpretation, then I will look at the situation, give it a new meaning, and now watch my emotions change.
You see?
And it's just that
it's amazing.
It's like, okay, so I can call it a different thing. And then
Yeah.
I begin to spend my energy reinterpreting the situation to something different and something that would generate good emotions.
Yeah.
I even need to be more conscious of that one, because no bad emotions. It's not just worth it.
It's not worth it.
No,
It's not worth it.
no,
It's not worth it at all. I'm telling you, it's hindering a lot of people's prayer. I'm telling you, you are hating someone, you are angry with people, you. That's why, anyway, God did not even tell you to pray for your enemy to die. But what will make you to pray for someone to die is out of anger, emotion, animosity. But you know, nobody's going to answer that prayer. In fact, be careful. If you are not careful, you see that thing you are angry about, you are going to perpetuate it.
Yes, it will keep happening.
That thing you are angry about and make you to pray for someone to die, you're going to perpetuate it because you have an emotion, terrible emotion, that's making you to begin to see that person that lies.
Then, but okay, on this note though,
yes,
is it not possible that, because if I preach, for example, if I teach people that you need your mother in the village, I want to do the preaching. Your mother in the village is the one that is causing you not to progress here in the city.
okay.
When I'm done with preaching and I now lead everybody to a time of prayer,
Yeah,
the way they vibrate in their heart, their vibrational state, is it not, will it be hatred or the desire to succeed?
Some will be fear.
What if, okay,
some will be fear, some will be hatred.
But can there not be a positive vibrational state where somebody is just pushing for the success and victory they desire? Because, sir, there are many recorded.
Hold on, I'm not getting you. What that person said is going to create either fear in some people, hatred, anger in some people, and that will bring them to be at a very low frequency of vibration. So what's the question now?
I'm thinking that, when you don't, where hate comes from is also where love comes from.
Yes, now they are opposite. So go ahead.
Okay, if I now hate something, it's also because I love something. Doesn't that mean that when I'm
not because you love something. No, not because you love something. Hate and love are the same energy at different rate of vibration. So that means I need to inside me begin to see the positive that will make me love that person, rather than looking at what whoever has said make me hate. So if someone says your mother is a witch, but you decide to think of the good thing that woman has done, raising you to become who you have become, it's going to generate love in your heart rather than hate based on what someone has told you. So you are going to now concentrate on the positive of that woman to be in love rather than in hate or anger or even fear.
Yeah. And I now want to say that I have the repetition really creates understanding.
Yeah.
When today opening, when you said that when evil cannot touch you because evil is on a frequency, on a different frequency.
Yeah.
That is beginning to.
It's beginning to make sense, Abby. Look at this chart. Look at the chart on the screen. Can you see below? Sir. You can see fear.
Yeah. Yes.
You can see grief, apathy. You can see regret, anxiety, hate. Can you see below? Anger. Look at the frequency 150. Look at love now 600. Peace 600. You can't now. If you are evil, you are going to be below. So it's like I have a pen in my hand. I'm vibrating that pen. I'm rolling it. I'm doing it front and back, or broom, front and back, front and back, front and back. And then the fan is rolling very fast. And I'm doing my hand with the broom, front and back, and I put it in between the fan. If the fan will take it away from me. Because unless the fan is not high, if the speed of the fan is not high, You see what the fan is like? He with me and the broom, he push her away. That's what happened. You know, immediately you understand how God created this life to function. I'm telling you, there's some things you will not just do. Oh, you won't even, you will see how stupid it is for me to want to hate someone, be angry, fighting. You know, it just does not make sense. But that's why the scripture talk about the fruit of the Spirit. Fruit of the Spirit. But at the end, science is discovering, you see those fruit of the Spirit? These are the things it does for you. That's why if you live a holy life in this life, no evil can touch you. It cannot, unless you are living in fear. And that gives you at an energetic log of 100, very low. Go ahead.
Oh, well, you're generating a question, but before I go to my question, I want to talk on,
Go ahead.
I want to talk on so for feelings now, I'm not intentional by saying I feel success, I feel health, I feel like faith generates feeling. Faith will generate feeling. Now, the last part where you mentioned on now, NOW, like the present.
Yes.
And then you said there is no past, there is no present, there is no future, there is only the now.
Now,
Right?
as far as communicating with God, now, if I'm asking for God for something, He has done it already. Now. It's not that I will become this. No, I am already. I am already. Not I will become. So that means in my word, in my conversation, I am. I am. I am. Not I will be. Go ahead.
Wow. So this is, I have a question. If you keep on saying to yourself, I am, will you not create a dissonance in your mind that, your own part of your mind will not say that, you are not now.
Let me tell you why it will be dissonance. When you have not felt the feeling. You know, if you feel the feeling, you will just feel like you have that thing. That's why you must practice this thing. You need to spend time to be able to feel the feeling. You know, I don't know if it happened to you before. So let me paint a picture. Let's say you are busy doing something. Maybe you are teaching someone. Yeah, like when you're doing NYSC, you're teaching. So let's say someone that came to tell you that, CEO, that thing you are expecting, they've done it to that alawi, they paid it to. Now, you continue your teaching, but as you continue for another 30 minutes, you just notice that there is one happiness underground. I think you just feel good, but you are talking, but subconsciously you just feel. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes, sir.
Such that when you feel it, sometimes you might ask yourself, why am I even feeling? What's happening? Oh, wow, they feel. But that news has entered your subconscious mind. You're already feeling, so you cannot, if it has entered, forget it. You will not feel otherwise. Why? Because because the brain does not recognize reality and emotion. When you feel it and you visualize it, the brain does not know the difference. It's like it has happened. That's what the brain is concerned. So because it doesn't know the difference, even when you don't have it yet, it doesn't change the fact that you know you have it. It doesn't change it. If you are still feeling that, it's a sign that you have not knowing. Believing is different from knowing. When you know, that's a sign you know that this is it. This is it. And that's why if you spend a lot of time meditating, visualizing, feeling the feeling, if you do it regularly, I'm telling you, you will not, you don't have the money, but you are not afraid, you are not bothered about what you don't have. Why? Because you already have it internally. Because you can only have what you already have. I don't know if I answer your question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Other that, what's left again? Okay, that's it. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Thank you. Grace, are you available now?
Oh, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
I, I remember my question.
Okay.
So everything with all of this now,
Yes.
my question is the application to relationships, interpersonal relationships,
Okay.
like where you people used to do things, and now I know it's interpretation, like, but I'm past many interpersonal relationships where people have done so many things. Now this is now past, and because at least at my interpretation at that time, they had done so many things. I'm like, I don't like this thing. This one down. Many things that look like sly, taken for granted, some that are close to betrayals in the at least at the general interpretation. And it has already created an emotional state that is resident in me.
Yeah.
Does If I change that emotional state by maybe changing the interpretation,
Yes.
or wherever I change the emotional state, does it imply a restoration of cordial relationship?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Only that you will not feel bad and terrible and you wish evil to that person again. You don't necessarily have to. If he's a toxic person and you don't want him to do what he did before, you stay away, but you don't feel you whenever the thought comes to your mind of what he has done, you don't feel bad, you don't feel sad, you don't wish him evil, you don't wish him bad, you don't wish he will get a pounds of flesh from you or from someone else. But it doesn't mean you have to go and meet him again because he has not changed. He can harm you again.
Hmm. So how do you change the thoughts? I mean, I don't know. I think I might know the answer to this question,
You have
but
answered it. What you have said, I've had people do it to me in Lagos. I have a very close friend who did business together. He messed me up big time. Big time. You don't have an idea. Maybe one of these days I will share that issue. Big time. As in fact, I've not seen that kind of betrayal before. And it cost me, you don't want to know amount it cost me. It cost me a lot of money. You know what? Anytime the thought come, I said, I'm telling him, I said, one day I'm going to call him and say, guy, thank you for what you did. You see what you did? Made me to put in effort and pay back every dime that your action cost me. But I thank you because you now make me to, my heart has grown so large. So now it becomes a lot easier for me to handle big things because of what you cost. I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to that day. And I'm working towards it very seriously. Very seriously. And that's the interpretation that is on my mind. When I get there and finish it, I will share it also on this platform for you guys to be able to understand what I'm talking about. We will talk about it in detail. But that's the way I see him. But
so
he's my friend, but we've only spoken once or twice this year. But it's someone we talk like every day or 2-3 times a week. But I have to stay away because I can't do what I was doing for him again. I can't. Because he has repeated not once, not twice, not thrice that this is the kind of person he is. So I won't allow it to happen. But it doesn't mean there's some other help. He still asked me for help this year and I granted it because it won't cost me much to do. But anything that will that will cost my integrity, energy, time, money. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Because he has shown that he doesn't keep to his word. Even though I've known him for 10 years. But now I'm seeing the real picture of him.
So the interpretation is to change the way to change the interpretation of its effect on you.
Yes, exactly. So I see it in a good light. Paul said, I take pleasure in my reproaches. I take pleasure in my necessity. I take pleasure for when I'm weak, I'm strong. So take pleasure in it.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Grace, are you there? Hello, Grace.
Oh, yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Sorry, at the point I was caught up because I had a call.
Okay.
So, but one thing that I got before I got off was I said attention is a currency,
Yeah.
and so it's whether we are spending or investing it.
Investing it, yeah.
So yeah, so now I have to pay attention to how I have to I have to, be careful of how I manage my attention.
Yeah.
Be careful how I manage my attention. Yeah. So if I manage it wisely, then I get return in terms of investment. And then if I spend it wisely, I need to do the other way. But I know that okay, this is something I need to be careful about. So that's something I actually took before I got disconnected. Yeah. So, but I don't think I've ever had that before, like where I say attention is currency. I know that I've heard something that talk about something. Okay, relationship is currency, but I'm hearing for the first time that
Attention is currency. If you invest it well, you reap it, the reward. If you spend it, you waste it.
Yeah, so that's it for me.
All right. Bam, or Bami. Are you available now? Bami, or is it Bam? I don't even know how to pronounce it. I'm sure it's a short form of your name. Favor, good evening.
Sir. Good evening, sir.
How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I think one key takeaway for me for tonight is on attention, where you see where we focus our attention and how we're able to visualize that thing. I think most times I don't know what to say. I don't know what I was thinking while you were speaking because I was trying to look at certain situations in my life or times in my life where I have probably thought I was focusing but I don't know. I think I got a little so be factual. I just got a little, I don't know how to put it around it because I'm trying to picture where the disconnect is for me, as in while you were speaking, I was evaluating my life and just looking at certain things. Where the disconnect for me, where I probably put attention and I didn't see the results. So I was trying to evaluate myself or my current state now and put myself in that space to say, okay, am I probably giving attention to what I should not, and that's why I'm not seeing, even though I'm saying something else and I'm praying something else, I'm actually probably anxious or looking in another direction that is causing me not to see what I expect. And just like you mentioned about being in the states, the emotions, I ask myself again, if I'm praying for a particular thing and I'm feeling a particular way, that means I'm actually contradicting what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I should actually feel like I had already received it. So there's a lot of work going on inside of me around the discussion tonight. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
And listen to it again. Thank you.
All right.
Sir.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Itowe, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Thank you very much for tonight's section.
All right.
Yeah. And I want to see you have been tremendously a blessing to us. You know, the last time when we were discussing that network couldn't allow us to discuss effectively.
Yeah.
I told you I was on a project. By God's grace, the project was successfully done.
Fantastic.
And with many testimonies.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
never bothered, never perturbed. As I follow the principle, it still amazed me. Still everything went and the way it go through. Tonight is just affirmation.
Yeah.
That if we diligently follow the principle that have been laid down, we are learning on weekly basis, it will be effectual and effective in every areas of our life.
Yeah.
And one thing underscore tonight, we can understand God by studying what He has created.
Yes. Yes.
We can understand God by studying what He has created. That is profound. And I meditate on it, think on it. And also now going back to our emotion, the stability of our emotion, present state of our emotion, even while praying. Are we anxious? Are we nervous? Or are we in right state, knowing fully well that He said before you ask, I've already answered.
Answer.
Now I know, knowing fully well that He has already answered us. Our position and our mindset also determine how quick and how our answer will come.
Yeah.
That was fun tonight, and I learned very well about that on all these two areas. I really appreciate you tonight.
Thank you
for the teaching.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Benita, good evening. Hello, Benita. Benita, good evening. Are you there? Okay, Benita is not there. Sam. Hello, Sam. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
I joined a bit late.
Okay.
So I was engaged in something else.
Okay.
Yeah, what I just want you to expatiate more.
Okay.
You said before you ask, God has answered.
Yes.
Then why did I need to ask?
Fantastic.
Why can't I just say,
now this is it.
Because
everything. Yeah, go ahead.
I have faith. Not that I don't have faith, but
how do you know you have faith? How do you know you have faith?
Because I believe what God says.
You need to test. Let me show you how you know you have faith. If you believe God for something,
all right.
You believe God for something, let's say for a provision,
okay,
and that's what you're believing God for. Let's say you're believing God for, let's say you are believing God for a rent, for example.
Okay.
Now, if your landlord calls and you're afraid, you don't believe. That's an evidence that you don't know you have received it, even though you don't have it physically. So you need to know you have received it. If you are afraid when that call coming, it's a sign, and there's nothing wrong with that, just a sign that, look, I don't know yet, because if the money is in my pocket, I won't be afraid. I'll just say, please send me your account number. I won't, because money is in my pocket. But that's the way I should be, like the money is in my pocket already, if I believe it has answered. So when I pray, my prayer is to receive. Is to receive, actually. Is to position me to receive what already exists. The real issue is, we talk like it is when we ask that is running scatter to give us. Whereas, that's why I was using the example of Joshua. He told Joshua, he said, I have given you the city. Joshua taking step is a sign that he believed. The reason he did, doesn't make sense to move around Jericho 6 times without saying anything. And on the 7th time, to shout. Because he believed. And he told the people on the 7th day, God has given you the city. Go now and take over. Because he believed. It shows in his action. He doesn't have any doubt in his mind. It shows in everything he did. But most of the time when we say because you receive through the knowing. But most of the time, that's why I said it's easy to test if you really believe. Is to look at, imagine a scenario to be able to test that believing. Most of the time, we don't know. We only believe with our mouth, but we don't know in our heart that it has been done. When you know that it has been done, you won't have any doubt in your mind. Even when the circumstances have not changed because we walk by faith and not by sight. Your eyes only see 0.0035% of reality. So you have not seen it physically does not mean it has not happened. Only that it has not manifested physically. But it has happened already. But because our eyes deceive us, so we judge by what we can see. And that makes us to become afraid. And that eventually makes us not to be able to receive what has already been provided.
Oh, that's serious. But but how do we get into this realm of faith?
Of knowing.
Then another thing, yes, how do we achieve this level?
Okay.
You know, this is a major problem.
It's a major problem. I agree with you, sir. I agree with you 100%. Two things you can do. The Bible says faith.
Yeah, most people that will do 7-day fasting, 100 days.
No, fasting will not solve the problem. No matter the fasting, still solve it.
It's a major problem.
It's not solving it. How do you get to that moment where you know? The faith coming by, there are two things you can do. Faith coming by hearing and hearing by the word. So what I do is I voice out what I want and put it in my ear and listen to it. Again and 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 again. I have two headphones. When I want to sleep, I have an headphone. In fact, when I travel, that voice, I will play it till daybreak. I'll be playing it. I can't play it when I'm at home because I will disturb my wife. But when I travel and I'm alone in the hotel room, I'll put it on. It's playing before I sleep. When I wake up, I'm seeing it. It gets inside. It gets inside. You must be very deliberate on driving it in. If you're deliberate about it. It's a faith coming by hearing and hearing. You believe, you know when you hear again. Because it conditions you. You are actually literally conditioning yourself. You are literally brainwashing yourself. You are literally, you need to get to that point. And you hear again and again and again and again and again. At some point, you have no doubt. You don't have it yet, though, but you know you have it. It's true imagination, visualization, and feeling. When I feel the feeling, when I feel it well, because the brain does not know the difference between what I imagine and what has happened. It doesn't know the difference. And God created it that way so that we can use our imagination. He said, now unto him that is able to do exceeding and abundantly above all we ask or imagine, according to the power that worketh in us. So we don't use that imagination power. We don't use it. If you use it very well and you feel the feeling, you will feel the feeling that you just know it has happened, because there is a joy, there is a way you feel, and you the kind of, so let's say that thing happened now, the way you will feel now, then you are feeling it now. You are basically communicating that I have it already. I have received it. He said, whatsoever you do when you pray, believe you have received and you shall have it. Believe you have received, and you believe you have received through feeling. That's the way you believe you have received. Because then you believe you have received, and you can only have what you already have. Only have what you already have. If you don't have it through that feeling, you will not have it physically. You can only have what you already have.
Wow. I think this is also applicable to every situation.
Every situation, yes. Every situation.
You are believing,
including health. Including health.
Including
health. I'm telling you. Including health.
So that you are in pain, but you feel like you are fine.
Including you are focusing your attention on what he has said, not on the pain.
Not on the pain,
Focusing your attention on what he has said, not on the pain. Focus, just change your attention. Just change your attention. Because when attention creates alignment. My attention is on my healing, it's on my health, it's me seeing myself active, going around. So all I'm thinking, I'm seeing myself already healed. And if I put my mind on it long enough, it's going to become my reality.
Wow. I just remember, based on this, I remember when I was still in school.
Yeah.
I used to come second all the time. I will read. I will still come second. Let's say this guy that comes first, he doesn't have two heads. So I started reading, started praying. the last section. One day I read. Then I went to a gathering. I just say I have testimony. I've not written exam. Later I was looking at myself. What's wrong with me? I just say thank God though. In my class I came first.
Fantastic.
And I've not written that exam. And they praise God with me. Do you know what happened? When we now wrote the exam, that was the last section, and I came first.
Fantastic.
I say, hey, what happened? So I just
already receive it.
Despite the fact
congratulate you. They congratulated. You see that feeling you feel when they congratulated you is very important. That's where the emotion comes in. That feeling of the congratulation. And that's what you can also do with your mind. Thanking God and appreciating him. That thank God for what you have done. You are thanking God like someone who have received it. It's so tangible to you, and you are thanking God. You are so happy, and tear of joy is falling out of your eyes, as in because it's so real that you have received it.
Wow. God. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
More wisdom and grace.
Thank you.
Yes,
all right. Thank you very much, everyone. See you next week. Have a great, great, great week ahead. And bye-bye.